At the hospital, Liz finds Finn in his office getting a haircut. She says she'll talk to him later, chuckles, and leaves. Later, he runs into Liz at the nurse's station, and she asks if he always gets his hair cut in the office. He says no. His barber was doing him a favor as he couldn't get out, and he wanted to look nice for their trip. Later, Liz goes to Finn's office again to ask what she should pack for this trip to Vermont. He gives her some ideas, and then they discuss when to leave in the morning. Liz doesn't think a 5-hour car trip in his Mini Cooper makes sense, so they should take her car and split the driving. Time passes, and Liz and Finn run into one another again, and she asks him to remind her to bring apples home as Aiden wants them to make some pies. They think about how this weekend will be no responsibility, no work, just the two of them. They check in with one another later and go over a checklist of everything they'll need. Stella runs into Jordan, who has been given a clean bill of health, minus one kidney. She asks Stella how Curtis is doing. Stella says he's trying to make the best out of a bad situation and has made a lot of progress. The topic changes to TJ and Molly's news, when suddenly Felicia appears and needs Stella's help. Jordan leaves them, and Felicia tells Stella she made a huge mistake. She was helping a patient fill out insurance forms for an MRI, and she made a mistake, and now this patient has to pay $11,000 out of pocket, which they can't afford. She asks what she does. Stella tells her, "Write a check." Stella says she was joking, and they deal with this all the time. She asks for the forms and will see what she can do. Jordan runs into Felicia later and sees she's upset. Felicia fills her in, and Jordan is sure Stella will figure this out. Stella returns, and unfortunately, the insurance company won't budge because this was Felicia's error. Felicia says she'll pay for it herself and walks off. Felicia returns with a check. Stella, having just got off the phone, says it's all taken care of. Stella has arranged for the patient to donate his MRI results to a big project GH is working on, and they paid for the MRI. Felicia thanks Stella and calls her a lifesaver. Later, Stella sits down with Felicia and goes over the insurance forms with her so she doesn't make the same mistake again. At the Quartermain stables, Cody is surprised when Sasha drops by. He assumes she came to say goodbye. She tells him that she came to say she's staying. She says he can ask why she's not leaving, so he asks. Sasha explains when she was packing she found a photo of her and Brando when they got married. She decided not to take it and left it in the drawer. She felt like if she didn't take it with her, she was leaving a piece of her behind. She decided to stay, though, because she realized she has people here who care about her. He takes her hands and suggests she put him on the top of that list. Cody asks Sasha what's next on her list. She has to call her movers to have them bring the furniture back, and will have to spend a few nights at the Metro Court. He suggests she stay at the mansion, but Sasha isn't up to facing off with Tracy. She also hasn't returned Maxie's calls and is worried that her future as the face of deception isn't going to last long. Cody thinks Maxie will have her back. She's a good person, and he really likes her son. Sasha reminds him they are family. Cody says Maxie and James don't know they are family, and nobody but her, Sam, and Dante knows. She feels honored to be on the list, but admits she's been thinking about why he hasn't told Mac. She says she stayed in Port Charles because of what she would miss in the lives of the people she cares about had she left. She thinks Mac cares about him even though he thinks he's not his father. She thinks knowing the truth would make him feel amazing. Later, she helps Kobe with the horses. Portia returns home, and Curtis thanks her for asking Laura to stop by. Cordia knows she's a good friend and is glad they got to spend time together. Portia breaks the bad news that Cyrus has been released. Curtis just found out and figured they'd talk about it when she got home. Cordia says he approached her at GH, and he claimed he had changed since he found God. She warned him she would get a restraining order on him, but she's worried about Trina and wants her to move home so they can protect her. Curtis agrees she needs protection and knows who to call.